Hello everyone, so today it's January the 13th, 2020, and today we're going to talk about Bitcoin, which has been displaying its characteristic super volatility over this past week. Oh my goodness, there's nothing like it. A record new high, $42,000, followed by the first $10,000 daily move in its history. Unfortunately, that move was down. But using round numbers, Bitcoin began October at $10,000. It rose by 30%. It began November at $13,000, gained another 50% to begin December at $19,000. December saw gains of more than 50% and fresh all-time highs as a result. And thus, Bitcoin began 2021 at $29,000. It carried on, making all-time highs, eventually reaching $42,000 last week. And then it crashed by more than 30% in a day. And you can be sure, what are all the reporters reporting? The largest daily loss ever. But do you know what? At $34,000, what it is today, it's still up over 15% this year. It's beating pretty much every asset class there is. The network now transfers more than $800,000 a second. By market capitalization, it's now the 14th most valuable currency in the world, ahead of the likes of India, Russia, Sweden, Hong Kong, Saudi Arabia. The market cap of the network, whose function is to store and transfer value, is now higher than the market cap of the most infamous network in the world, Facebook. And over the course of Bitcoin's evolution, $10 trillion of value has been transferred. That is more than the value of all of the gold in the world. And even the Financial Times, which has been woefully wrong about Bitcoin since its inception, doggedly sticking to the wrong side of the argument, is now talking about it being integrated into the financial system. When Bitcoin was $132, the FT said it was a bubble and recommended its readers avoid it. You know what a bubble is? It is a bull market in which you don't have a position. That's my little catchphrase, which I coined, by the way back when. And as I've said many times, tulips were a bubble. Today, 400 years on, where is the centre of the global flower industry? Railways were a bubble. How do most of us get to work in the morning? Or I should say, how did we used to get to work? .com was a bubble. What do most of us spend all day using? Of course, Bitcoin is a bubble. It's a new technology. Manias almost always accompany new technologies. But not only is it a new technology, it is a new technology that is a new system of money. It's double bubble. Now, Bitcoin, as we know, it's apolitical money. It was designed in reaction to the bailouts and money printing that followed the financial crisis of 2008. Here was a money system that governments couldn't print and debase when it suited them, a stateless money system for the internet, immune to the whims of politicians. And in this modern age, where political ideology has replaced religion, here was a new bespoke technology for those who believe the state is at best wasteful and at worst harmful. It attracted a swarm of acolytes who continuously work on this open source protocol. They develop it and they worship it with religious fervour. It's a new tech, it's money, it's a religion. I raise your double bubble to triple bubble. Now, in the mania of 2017, when it went from a few $100s to $20,000, it had no fewer than 8 pullbacks of the same percentage proportion as Monday's. 8. So don't let one day, Monday, allow you to lose sight of the bigger picture. And do not dismiss Bitcoin. I can remember going on the BBC's Daily Politics show in the mania of 2017 with an economist called Dr. Savas Savory, who's chief economist with Tosca Fund Asset Management. And he's also one of the rudest people I have ever met. And he described Bitcoin, the Future of Money, my book, the first book on Bitcoin, from a recognised publisher, which he'd never read. He described it as a work of fiction. He called people who bought Bitcoin financially illiterate and then cited all the usual cliches about why Bitcoin is a bubble, greater fool theory and all the rest of it. But he'd never tried the tech. Not once had he bought or transacted with Bitcoin. And yet he was holding court on the BBC about it. This is a PhD economist, as he kept telling us repeatedly, and we've got a revolutionary money system, and he wasn't even bothering to try it out before dismissing it. The levels of willful ignorance are extraordinary, and no wonder people no longer trust experts. Now, who's the greater fool? The guy who buys Bitcoin, or the asset manager dismissing the greatest money-making opportunity any of us will ever see in our lifetimes? Because he can't be bothered to try it out. And Savory is by no means alone. From the FT to the Bank of England to the City, the financial industry is packed with people who dismiss the tech, they dismiss Bitcoin without trying it out or attempting to understand it. Often it's sheer laziness. People don't want to learn. And this pattern will repeat and repeat. Bitcoin will go exponential, it will crash, it will go exponential again. And all the while, the network will grow. And economists and FT journalists, not Merrin Somerset Webb obviously, as she and I are recording a podcast about Bitcoin later today, but other FT journalists and no coiners will cry nay. Investors, meanwhile, will cry yay. As for what happens next, after the run it's had, it'll probably go down a bit more before it goes up. Then again, it might just go straight up. Who knows? It's Bitcoin. But you have to have a stake, even at these extraordinary prices. $100 seemed extraordinary once upon a time. The potential of Bitcoin to become the default digital store of value is so huge, and the risk is not having a position. Don't use leverage. The volatility is too much. Don't attempt to trade it. Take a position and hodl. And with the new FCA regulations banning Bitcoin derivatives for retail investors in the UK, getting exposure to Bitcoin just got harder. But owning Bitcoin is not like buying a stock. It takes some effort to get used to the tech, but it is worth making this effort. The single most common reason for failing to jump on the amazing bandwagon that Bitcoin has been is laziness. Open an account with an exchange, Gemini, Bitpanda, CEX, Kraken, Binance, whoever. Deposit 20 quid or 100 quid, get a friend to do the same, and then practice sending each other small amounts of money. That is the best way to get started. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, please share it with a friend. And my book, Bitcoin, The Future of Money, published in 2014, the first book on Bitcoin from a recognized publisher, that's one of my little claims to fame, is available at Amazon, and I recommend the audiobook. I will talk to you soon. Goodbye. Have a very nice day.